Fauci emails, 5 biggest revelations. Let's simplify this a little bit.
Okay.
Instead of burying it, did they bury it? Maybe a little bit. But we'll see if they get to the main point, because I do have a main point. And once again, I'm doing this to show that they're just not going to talk about the main point here. Dr. Anthony Fauci received a worried message from Bill Gates' advisor and offered support to a Chinese health official toward the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic, newly released email shows. Hundreds of pages. Oh, this comes from Newsweek.com, so you know it's legit, by the way. It's not. It's probably not still, but you know it is. Hundreds of pages of Fauci's emails have been revealed under the Freedom of Information Act. They show the director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease dealing with a variety of queries and issues. BuzzFeed News, which hats off to BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed's usually trash, but BuzzFeed were apparently the first ones to put this out there. So when they do right, we gotta give them give them one of these. All right. BuzzFeed News obtained more than 3,200 pages of emails that have been made available online, while the Washington Post received more than 860 pages, some of which are also available to read. Here are 5 of the biggest takeaways from the emails. A Bill Gates advisor was worried about Fauci's health. How is that the number one thing? Fauci spoke to Microsoft founder Bill Gates on the phone on April 1st. April 1st? It seems a little sus.
Yeah. April's Fools.
Saying he was, quote, enthusiastic about moving forward on a collaborative and hopefully synergistic approach to COVID-19. After the call, a senior executive at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Emilio Emini, which is a sweet name, who was in charge of coordination on a COVID vaccine, emailed Fauci worrying about his health. Quote, I see you on TV almost every day, and although you continue to have considerable energy, I am seriously worried about you, Emini said. Or Emini, I don't know. Continuing, the nation and the world absolutely need your leadership. That is certainly debatable. Fauci wrote back at 1:53 a.m. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. I'm guessing
1:53?
Yeah. Wrote back at 1 hour and 53 minutes to say, in the morning, by the way, a.m., to say, I will try to engage as much as I can given my current circumstances. So that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. Somebody said to Fauci, I'm concerned about you. You seem to be working hard. That's their number one concern in these emails. So that would lead you to believe that there's nothing in these emails, right? If somebody told you that these emails came out and the number one concern is that somebody said, Fauci, we're worried about you, bro, you would throw out the other, 3,200 pages at that point, because if that's the number one concern, then That's nothing.
Exactly.
Fauci offered support to a Chinese health official. Maybe these aren't in the right order. Maybe it's supposed to be, the last one is the best. Yes. I don't know. Because this is certainly more interesting than the last one. Fauci offered support to a Chinese health official. On March 28th, 2020, Fauci received an email from George Gao or whatever, director of the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention. That guy had given an interview to Science magazine saying the U.S. and other Western nations were making a big mistake by not telling people to wear masks. I saw the Science interview. How could I say such a word, big mistake, about others? That was journalists. What? Hope you understand. I don't know. Let's work together and get the virus out of the earth. Who cares? He talked to a guy. Experts worried that COVID-19 would look engineered. So this is a pretty important one. Experts were worried that COVID-19 would look engineered. But it's okay if it looks engineered, if it is engineered.
Yes.
And that should be exactly what it looks like if it is engineered. So, yeah. We have a good team lined up to look very critically at this. We should make sure I didn't miss anything important. Yeah, we have a good team lined up to look very critically at this. So we should know much more at the end of the weekend, he wrote. I should mention that after discussion earlier today, Eddie, blah, 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 and myself all find the genome inconsistent with expectations from evolutionary theory. So he's saying it looks like it's not an evolutionary thing. It looks like it was man-made of some sort. But we have to look at this much more closely, and there are still further analysis to be done. So those options could still change. Now, this could have been early on, and they didn't know enough. And he's saying, right now it looks like this, and maybe they've got more evidence. But they never even they not only didn't give any indication that it seemed like it could be man-made, they said if you think that there's any chance that it could be man-made, you're an evil white supremacist terrorist.
Yeah.
So, ergo, Fauci at this point is an evil white supremacist terrorist. Fauci said, this is number 4, said that the store-bought masks are not really effective. Yeah.
Well, we kind of already knew that.
Who's been saying that for a year?
Right?
It wasn't Fauci. It was me, based on the little bit that I know. If you talk to a couple medical experts, you will find that out. But apparently Fauci doesn't do that. He just watches CNN, and they tell him what to say. Masks are really for infected people to prevent them from spreading infection to people who are not infected, rather than protecting uninfected people from acquiring infection.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what, honestly, that's what like over in China, don't they just if you're sick at all, they just wear a mask as a courtesy of not getting anybody else sick.
Sure.
And then after last year, it seems like everybody has to wear a mask so you don't get sick, so you don't get it or spread it.
Yeah, I don't really go to China for my medical advice at this point. I don't know why. Probably just racism. The typical mask you buy in the drugstore is not really effective in keeping out virus, which is small enough to pass through material. Yes. It might, however, provide some slight benefit in keeping out gross droplets if someone coughs or sneezes on you.
Did it say gross, really?
It does. Keep out gross droplets if someone coughs or sneezes.
What is gross droplets?
I'm pretty sure that's the scientific word for gross. Icky. I do not recommend that you wear a mask, particularly since you are going to a very low-risk location, he said. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, updated its guidance on masks with zero evidence of why they should. Fauci was uncomfortable with people's fascination with him. What? Fauci loves cameras. What are you talking about? During the pandemic, Fauci became a figure of much public attention and enjoyed a popular image that led to articles, memes, and even merchandise. He wasn't very comfortable with the attention. Who cares? Who cares? I'm not even going to read that. The fact that you put that, this is either number 5, the lowest of the 5, or it's the highest of the 5. Either way, it's neither. Who cares? And you want to know what they left out?
What did they leave out?
And this was sent to me this morning by a good friend of the show. I recently went on his show. It's Josh Smith from Break the Cycle. I got to pull this up because I didn't have it ready. But Josh Smith from Break the Cycle was tweeting this out, and it's apparently one of the pages. And I do have all the emails that we can dig through and find if this is legit or not.
Ooh. So
this comes from Joshua Smith of Break the Cycle, which check him out at Joshua on Twitter. At Joshua at large is his Twitter handle, but he posted this morning, and he sent it to me directly even, and this is interesting. Page 2,286 of these FOIA emails to Dr. Fauci. Ouch, he was aware of this from a virologist back in early 2020. Now, do you see anything wrong with this image, Travis?
Let me see here.
The subject of the email.
Yes.
Coronavirus bioweapon production method.
Well, there you go, have it. There you have it.
But
That's all we needed to
Okay,
see.
let's verify this because I haven't checked yet. 2,286 is the page number. So scrolling down, these are all the emails. Which, if maybe I'll put links to this in the show notes. Go check; they might be there. I might forget to do that. 2,002.
The thing about this, how do we know this is the
100.
legit email file and not like?
Well, you don't put out like 10,000 page documents of manufactured things too easily. And I would imagine somebody has verified it since it's circulating. And in the news at the moment, like for CNN and Newsmax and all these people to be, reporting on it, I'm not the one who verified it, but somebody had to have verified it at some point. 2,226, 2,230s, 2,260s, 70. Oh, here we go. Where is it? Coronavirus bioweapon production method. Boom. Bam.
There it is. Let's read it.
So, and it says, "Hello, Anthony. This is how the virus was created." And then it's just got this big long list, which it sounds like don't misconstrue this. This isn't Fauci conspiring with a person to create this bioweapon, but this is somebody saying, "Hey, Dr. Fauci, this is how this was created." I don't know if the guy is somebody who worked on it or what, or he was like leaking the information. But if there was somebody even who was on the up and up who was leaking this information to Fauci, and Fauci did nothing with this information, then we've got a big problem. Again, this is from Wednesday, March 11th in 2020. And up until a week ago, we couldn't say this might be man-made even.
March 11th. That was like the beginning of all of this.
Yes.
The very beginning.
Yes. So, this email came from Adam Gartner. Adam, come on the show. Let me know your thoughts. But interesting. And everybody also go check out Josh's show. It's fantastic. Look up Break the Cycle on YouTube or go to @JoshuaAtLarge, especially the one that I'm on. That's his best show so far. But that's fun. That's fun little nuggets. And what's your take on all this, Travis?
That's surprising. I mean, it was a year ago. Well, more than a year ago.
More than a year ago, yeah.
That was literally the beginning of the shutdown and everything. That's when we started hearing about COVID in January, February over in China. And then like April came around.
Yeah, it was like mid to late February that things started locking down here. But
I mean, again, even back then, I'll still remember from this day when I got on the news and saw breaking news, Wuhan, China, virus, and bat. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Now, I want to read you a little bit of history. And we're going to probably end with this unless, we can get into some conversation about it. But just another one of these things. Like last week we talked about, what was it, Operation Northwoods. Today we're going to talk about the Gulf of Tonkin incident. Are you familiar with the Gulf of Tonkin incident, Travis?
No.
Okay. History time. So, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, and this comes from Wikipedia. I'm trying to make these the least credible resources as possible, so you know that this is layperson information. Like, everybody should know about this. This should have been taught in our history books. Yes. This isn't like some crazy conspiracy theory.
Got you.
The Gulf of Tonkin incident, also known as USS Maddox incident, was an international confrontation that led to the United States engaging more directly in the Vietnam War. It involved both a proven confrontation on August 2nd, 1964, and a claim of a second confrontation, that's the important one, that second claim, on August 4th of 1964. Between ships of North Vietnam and the United States in the waters of the Gulf of Tonkin. So there's North Vietnam ships and United States ships in the Gulf of Tonkin, and there was an alleged first attack, and then there was an alleged second attack. The original American report blamed North Vietnam for both incidents, but the Pentagon Papers, the memoirs of Robert McNamara, and NSA publications from 2005 suggested that the dismissal by Department of State and other government personnel of legitimate concerns regarding the veracity of the second incident was used to justify an escalation by the U.S. to a state of war against North Vietnam. Blah, blah, blah. It was a false flag. They said that we got attacked, we didn't get attacked, and then we went to war with Vietnam. It just seems interesting and important to bring up as we just celebrated Memorial Day and all that, and everybody celebrates Memorial Day. How would you say that people celebrate Memorial Day?
Well, typically it's going to the store and buying a 24-pack of beer and grilling out and getting drunk.
Burgers and beers. Yep.
Or you got
freedom.
or you got some people actually that will, remember the people who have lost their lives to fight for this crazy country, and or you got some people that do it. Actually, I don't know if it's more like government based, but just remembering the dead that just lost their lives.
Yeah.
So
what are your thoughts on? Well, I'm anti-war. I'm that is usually seen as
in you don't
anti-patriotic.
Believe in war at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I believe in defending yourself.
Okay.
I don't believe in attacking people for any real reason. Like aggressing upon somebody. That's kind of the whole point of like the libertarian stuff is like you don't aggress on people. You don't have a reason to if you're not defending yourself. You don't have to hurt somebody else just because they have something that you want. I'm anti-war across the board, and that is seen as unpatriotic, or you don't support the troops if you don't support war. But the problem with that is I do support the troops. I support them so much, I want them to stop fucking dying for no reason.
I'll make questionable decisions.